Hello friends, I'm Mahesh Mangare. Welcome you all in this lecture where we are going to discuss about the Russia and Ukraine war right now which is going on, and we are going to have the clear understanding about the geopolitical reasons behind this war. So this is the map where we can see the relative position of the Russia and the Ukraine, right? Both are the bordering countries, right? Apart from that, here is the Romania, here is the Bulgaria, here is the Georgia. We are going to little bit zoom in this map so we can clearly understand where the relative positions and where the borders are located. Russia, interestingly, holds only very narrow passage to access the Black Sea. See, Russia controls only from here to here the coastal line of Black Sea, and from here to here they control the access to the Azov Sea. Here the Azov Sea, right, and here is the Black Sea, right. So Russia need to make their navy very relevant, because there is the concept of nuclear triad in the modern warfare. Nuclear triad means you can attack the nuclear weapon through sea, land and air. This is known as the nuclear triad. Through land we can have the intercontinental missiles through which we can launch the nuclear weapons, and through air we have the aircrafts where we can launch the nuclear weapons. But from sea also, if we are going to launch the nuclear weapons, we need to have the access over the sea. And if Russia loses the access over this Black Sea, Russian navy becomes irrelevant against the NATO forces, because if they have lost the control over this Black Sea, their navy will restrict to this part. Their navy will restrict to this eastern part. The eastern part, the NATO forces, some major countries are located in Europe. This is the Europe. So in this region, Russia need to have the striking capacity. And if Russia loses the Black Sea, there is no relevance of a navy against these European countries. And that's what Russia don't get into the situation like this. So why Russia is very eager about this region? Because in 2004, this Bulgaria and Romania, both the countries have got the membership of NATO forces. Ukraine even recently tried to get the NATO membership, and even NATO members are very eagerly keen to grant the membership to Ukraine. So in light of this, Russia, what Russia did in 2014, they have annexed this region. This region is known as the Crimean Peninsula. Crimea crisis is the famous name of this. So over this Crimea Peninsula, Russia have established their control. This Crimean Peninsula control gives the control of Russia over this Kerch Strait. There is one strait, Kerch Strait, which joins this Azov Sea and the Black Sea. So this Azov Sea, if Russian Navy has the movement capacity to move their navies from the Black Sea to the Azov Sea and vice versa, then the Kerch Strait has to be within the control of the Russia, and that's what Russia tried to have the control over this by annexation of this Crimea. But now there is a bigger threat, because already the Bulgaria and Romania gave access of the NATO forces to the Black Sea, which Russia never thought of, or Russia has very what we can say that Russia is getting very upset about, right? Now Russia, under the name of the human right violation against the Russian speaking people in the Ukraine, Russia have declared the war against the Ukraine, and Ukraine also have received the positive response from the NATO states, NATO countries about Ukraine's joining to the NATO forces. In light of this, Russia, under the saying of there is a human right violation against the Russian speaking people in the Ukraine, or the Ukraine government is discriminatory against the Russian people, Russian speaking people, Russian language speaking people, they are attacking Ukraine. The major goal, which is not overtly mentioned but covert major goal, where the world has a consensus in Ukraine, Russia will probably establish the control over this region where the Ukraine's territory is adjoining to the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov. So they will cut the access of Ukraine through the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov, so that the NATO navies will restrict their operation up to Romania and Bulgaria, where the Russia will have dominance over this much part, more than 50% of the coastline of the Black Sea, which can be easily utilized to counter attack of these NATO forces. So this is the major geopolitical cause behind Russia's aggression in Ukraine. I hope you can get the idea from this video, so that you can answer the questions if get asked in interview or in mains or in your any of the exams. So thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you.